police killed Sitting Bull and his son. Soon after, the last of the ghost dancers were massacred at a place called Wounded Knee. And then the Plains Indian Wars were over.
Sally, what's on your show on Christmas Day?
Well, we've tons of stuff lined up for you. I'll be talking to Lulu about how a revolutionary new treatment has brought hope to literally thousands of sufferers from split ends.
And I'll be discussing, with no embarrassment at all, female problems, such as wonky wombs and faulty fallopians. Can't wait.
Handy hints in Victoria Wood's all-day breakfast, 9 in the evening on Christmas Day, on 1.
Now on BBC Wales on 1, Ghostbuster Dan Aykroyd and world megastar Miss Piggy are among the guests joining Terry Wogan's Friday night.
It's Friday night. It's Friday night.
It must be Christmas. Welcome to another silver thread plucked from the shimmering weave that is life's rich tapestry. Sorry, but I hit the eggnog a week early. Have you noticed that since they've privatized the refuse collection service, you no longer have bin men knocking on your door for their seasonal gratuity? Nowadays, they invoice you. And you can't buy the kids off with sixpence in the Christmas pudding anymore. This year, we've put in 2 spoonfuls of brandy and Norman Lamont's access card. And they're still not pleased. I mean, is the spirit of Christmas what it was?
No, sorry, no toys, no sweets, no money. You want help, write to Jimmy Savile. Now bugger off. Let me explain. This year, you give me presents.
Well, gentlemen, not a good year, what with inflation and the relocation of our North Pole depot due to the hole in the ozone layer. Well, you're all set.
Let go of the money, little boy. Let go, or Santa's going to break your wrist. Let go. Do you like it, do you? It's a tenner. It's the lowest I'll go. Come on, smile. Say mince pies. That's £25. Pay on the way out. Don't go. Oh, please come back. I've got a sleigh you can have. Only 300,000 miles on the clock. And I know this bloke who does cheap video machines. Oh, stuff this. I'm off to the job club.
I'm sure it's not really like that. It was Christmas Christmas. Now, you know, it can get lonely behind this desk. Damn lonely. It's a bit like being the captain on the bridge, Jack Hawkins in the cruel sea, in his duffel coat, slapping his bovril with a weather eye out for the wily Hun. His number 1 is usually Michael Wilding or John Gregson. Sadly, no longer available. But I have here a man who would have been perfect for the job. Stiff upper-lipped, well-spoken, British to the very bone. Even if his name is Tony Slattery. Fine featured from your Radio Times triumph on the West End.
Bless you, yes. The play's going very well. It's at the Queen's Theatre, Shaftesbury Avenue. That's my plug, and there it is straight away.
Okay, we'll give you the order of the plug later on.
Thank you.
So,
Oh, no, I'm terribly excited because I have a feeling this is why I've been invited. I have an exclusive, ladies and gentlemen. I was at Princess Anne's wedding. I was the one outsider to be invited.
Gasp!
This is because I disguised myself as a small flowering shrub. And Prince Charles made a pass at me. Now, I know he normally only talks to trees, but I was a bit of a slut. I let him finger my leaves, and I'm afraid I did let him pot me in the end.
You are anybody.
And, but it was extraordinary, and I can tell you the real inside story of everything that happened. Princess Margaret was there, but she was face down in a jacuzzi of warm Dubonnet for the whole service. Princess Di, she chose the hymns, and so we had 3 songs by Take That. And when Princess Anne processed, it was to Wild Boys by Duran Duran. It was wonderful. And Fergie was going to be there, but she was finishing a book called Budgie the Helicopter Sucks My Toes. But an extraordinary event, it really was.
It was, and of course it was a week full of pith and moments in general.
I beg your pardon?
Yes, of course. Well, you were very lucky to be asked to the wedding, and probably you'll never be asked anywhere again after that.
Oh, no, it was just wonderful. But I've been looking through the papers as well. Extraordinary stuff. There's always polls at this time of year about stress levels. And again, this year, they put the most stressful thing in the world is Christmas. And that's behind thermonuclear war. Thermonuclear war comes nowhere near the stress of Christmas. Do you get stressed?
We all live by that illusion that it's going to be a wonderful time, we're all going to be so close to each other. And we are.
No,
for about 5 minutes.
Well, for about 5 minutes, and poor old Mum spends the whole time with her hand up a turkey's bum. I mean, it's a nightmare. I find that quite enjoyable, but I mean, that's...
You're in showbiz.
The showbiz, yes, that's right, yes.
A little strange. Now, in moments of quiet rectitude, I oft ponder the question, is vaudeville dead? Now, simply walked out of the Glasgow Empire one afternoon, stood in the street corner and became a busker. Eventually, it raised enough money to emigrate to America, where it spawned a zillion and one oddball acts, amongst them this from California. Where else? The eye and ear boggling talent of Mr. Dan Menendez. Dan Menendez. Oh, what makes a man want to do something like that for a living?
Drugs.
You think it's drugs? I just thought, you know, he'd be lying in bed somewhere in America thinking, how am I going to break into showbiz? He's lying there in bed thinking, I know, I'll play a piano with balls.
Yes. It's a good thing it wasn't a guitar. What would he have used?
Exactly. Oh, my next guest. My next guest started out with the Saturday Night Live team that produced John Belushi, Chevy Chase, Bill Murray, and since then, he's been a blues brother, a ghostbuster, a man who married an alien. Let's have a look at some of the work of a certain Mr. Dan Aykroyd.
Beckman! Beckman!
Disgusting blob. I'm gonna have to hold him myself.
You even got photos of the guy leaving the embassy through the back service entrance. Hey, Crease, you on?
Yeah, I'm on.
Were you still in CIA in '72?
Yeah, why?
Did you know the deputy director of planning was down in Managua, Nicaragua, the day before the earthquake?
Now what are you saying? The CIA caused the Managua earthquake?
Well, I can't prove it, but...
I can't talk to that
guy. There's someone in the shop. Keep cranking.
Still cranking!
Got it! Jesus Christ!
Were we good till the dummies come out?
Excuse me, miss. Can you tell me how to find Mr. Maxini?
What the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm afraid you just found him.
How'd you do, sir? I'm Charlie Chaplin. Chaplin sent me a telegram. Butte, Montana. You've hired me for a year, Mr. Senning.
You can't be Chaplin. The guy I hired did the best comedy drunk I ever saw. But he was old. I don't pay $100 a week to juveniles.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Aykroyd.
This looks like we're at the Star Trek. Jim,
yeah.
The crew is sick. You can't go on, Jim. Stop the ship. I mean,
I wanted to ask you about that cameo as Max Sennett. Did it sort of make you wish for those palmy days of filmmaking?
It was great because, you know, I walked on the set and there were like, you know, these stages with silks in between the sound stages instead of walls because, you know, they didn't need sound back then, and there were orange groves there and cattle and an old train and stuff, and I thought, yeah, this was the time to live.
And being able to direct through a megaphone and shout to people as they were doing it about what they should do.
Well, people still do that.
Do they?
Oh, absolutely, sure. There's a lot of hardcore directors that still have that kind of, you know, rough, tough, abrasive style.
Hardcore directors? Have you worked with them?
No, steady.
Yeah. Oh, I know what you mean. No.
But do you think Chaplin was funny?
I do. I think that what Chaplin gave all comedians was the ability to be physical. You know, the pratfalls and the stunt work. You know, he was one of the great physical comedians of our time.
But there is a kind of controversy going at the moment. People have come out from behind the arras and said, I never thought Charlie Chaplin was funny. Previously, it was like denying the existence of God. But now people feel that they can say, Chaplin was never funny.
Well, those people should sit down and watch some of the old movies, watch some of the great old films that he did, Gold Rush, where his comic skills were just at their perfect peak, and, you know, it was influenced by the British music hall humor, of course, you know. So this is like, these are humorists who have roots here in your own country, so...
Oh, that's true, like Chaplin, Stan Laurel, all those people.
But that's okay. You can be an absurdist and a progressive. We buy that.
Is any of your part of Hollywood today, is any of the old Hollywood still there?
You mean architecturally? That's about all.
Kind of in attitudes or anything? Or has it all become the province of the men in the grey suits?
Well, there's still an old feeling there. I mean, you know, when you walk on the lot and you walk back in the Frankenstein Village at Universal, or you go through the big gates at Paramount, you feel it and you say, hey, you know, Bogart went through these gates, and Clark Gable was here on this lot, or wherever, or Boris Karloff worked there. So there's a lot of history architecturally speaking. It is a business very much driven by, you know, if you've had a hit, then you're a hit. If you haven't had a hit, then, you know, they erase your parking space from the, you know, from the lot.
And you get dropped from the A-list.
That's right.
Like restaurants and things.
But there is a little bit of the old glamour, like, I mean, you know, Bruce Willis and Demi Moore are a very glamorous couple. You know, he rented a jet and flew her up to Vegas for a party. He rents Magic Mountain for her, you know, and that type of thing. And, you know, we sometimes go out to premieres. I've got an old 41 Buick Straight 8 that I like to drive to premieres and stuff, and kind of dress up like the old days, you know.
But Dan, what about the darker side, as a kind of morally bankrupt side, as evidenced in
yeah,
something
I'm
like The Player?
Yes, I'm morally bankrupt. And, you know, and most of my friends try to be.
What did you think of The Player? As a kind of expose?
I thought it was right on.
Yeah.
It was right on. It really, really said a lot of the, you know, the bad things about the business. You know, it's pretty heartless, really. But there's, you know, we form our alliances, and those who are on our side are always on our side, and those who aren't.
So it's a bit of a struggle at the beginning. You've got credibility now. You can go in, presumably after the success of a lot of your movies.
Yeah, but I still have to.
Ghostbusters. You are regarded as somebody who will get the bums on the seats.
Well, that gets me in the door, Terry. But you know, then after that, I've got to, you know, get up there and. And
how well he does it.
You know.
Brilliantly.
Yeah.
Brilliantly.
Now, Saturday Night Live, which is where you more or less made your name.
Yes, sir.
That was a whole host of writers, wasn't it? And you were one of them.
That's correct.
Was that really murder?
It was both. It was like being a commando. I mean, it was like, you know, just, you know, really rough days in terms of the psychic torment of not getting your piece on or having it mismangled or handled or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But it was really a joyous time because we knew we were creating new kinds of satire. And, you know, the royal family here, you talk about, I mean, you know, people saying to get rid of them. What would satirists do if they were gone? I mean, you know, there's this tremendous meat here. For humorists, so
I'd rather you didn't call our royal family meat.
No, but I mean the substance of that whole premise is tremendous for satirists.
Yes, and for the tabloid newspapers. I mean,
it is true. And on a deeper level, you know, really, if you cut that tie, you're cutting a living tie to history. And I'm a great history buff, and I believe that there's a definite purpose there to their existence. Of course, I'm from Canada, and you know, I'd go for a monarchic autocracy, no problem.
Now, Blues Brothers was a tremendous cult movie with you. And, I mean, looking at you, you don't look like a great mover, does he?
Oh, he does.
Does he?
But then I think you look like a great mover.
Thank you.
So I'm really...
What do you know? Exactly. It was a tremendous cult movie, that, wasn't it? But
well, it
was the root of it, do you think?
It was a tremendous commercial hit as well. You know, it made a lot of money overseas and in the States. And I think it's just because we hit at a time in the 70s. That act came along basically between... you know, new wave and disco, and so we just hit at a time when people wanted to hear that kind of music again. And I play with the band all the time. They're still together, you know. John died, but the music didn't. So.
Do you do the same choreography? That brilliant
we do, yeah. You know who's in the band now is Eddie Floyd, who did the song Knock on Wood. You know, he's a great R&B star. And he and Larry Thurston and Carla Thomas and I jammed the other night, and by the time we got to the song Everybody Needs Somebody to Love, and we were doing all those steps together, I mean, the roof was just ripped off.
Was this a big gig? Was it?
It was to open our club in Cambridge, Massachusetts, called House of Blues. It's basically a monument to the blues and a place where musicians can come and play, and people can come and see the great blues stars of the age on our monumental ceiling that we have there, and we're going to try to open a club in London, I hope.
Tell me this, do you still play the harmonica?
That's a chromatic. I'm not too good on a chromatic, but sometimes it's a little stiff here. Oh, it slipped out on me there. You got to oil it up.
It's a good man's fault.
See, it's supposed to do that. Fast.
Yeah.
It's slow.
I can
seized
play
up again. Mechanic.
I can play it, but I need juggling balls to throw at it.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah, you know, it's very bad luck to follow a tennis ball pianist, you know.
Yeah, never follow a tennis ball.
I know, here
pianist.
I am following a tennis ball pianist.
Yeah, no, you're on to a loser. What about Ghostbusters? That was an enormous success for you, and of course you...
Anybody see that here?
Yeah. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Of course we did. Wonderful. I mean, do you have an interest in the supernatural?
I do. I actually do. My father is a member of the American Society for Psychical Research, as am I, and my great-grandfather, Sam, was a dentist who corresponded with Arthur Conan Doyle and with Bertrand Russell on matters of the psychic. And my dad always had me interested in this, and so I do kind of, that's where it all came from, was reading these psychic journals at home. I mean, you know, when I was a kid, you know, ghost hunters and all this, so I kind of turned that into a comic premise, and
amazing.
And I've followed it up a little bit with some real research that we're doing in the United States now. my brother's tied in with a guy who actually has all that real equipment, the flux generators and all the stuff, and there really is something to it. And of course, England is full of stuff. I mean, you know, Henry VIII, they say, still walks over there at
England is full of dead people.
I don't believe a word of all this.
It is. Have you ever been to a medium?
In the audience.
I was asking down whether he'd ever been to a medium.
I never have. I never have.
Are you tempted?
I don't know. It's a door that you have to really think twice about opening, you know. Usually these events come and find me. The guy who does the work that in the States that I'm tied in with, he says most of his cases are referred to by churches, you know, because the people go to the reverend or they go to the priest and they say, man, my house, there's something wrong, you know, my hairbrush keeps flying across the room and hitting me in the head, or things jump off the wall, or, you know, and the priests kind of go in and they do their exorcism or whatever, and then it keeps going on, so they turn to these scientists to try to sort it out.
Yes.
Do you have any experience with that? Have you? I mean,
Not really.
do you believe this kind of?
I'm very interested. I'm very interested in this theory of highly emotionally charged events like murders or whatever, leaving an imprint on the ether of a place.
Well, in fact, yeah, that's
almost like a tape, almost like a tape which is run back.
Absolutely,
you know,
right.
Given
That's exactly where a lot of trauma comes from. I mean, there was. You know, and what we find in the research and what we find in dealing with this is these are entities that haven't crossed over to the light. They haven't crossed over, and if one can help them cross over to the light, one eliminates the problem. And you're onto something there. Of course, a place with trauma is going to have a lot of...
Yes.
Like there's this haunted beach here in England where during World War II, they sent out some tanks into the water to try to test them for beach landings in Normandy, and these tanks sunk, and of course, the exercise was awash, and these guys drowned, and apparently that beach is haunted, according to some writings there in England.
Well.
Yeah,
you don't believe in things like I thought the Ghostbusters was a piece of fun. Now it turns out you believed every word of it. What about the Bermuda Triangle? You don't think that's for real, do you?
Well, I haven't been through there, and haven't really talked to the folks who run it. But
you're not going.
No, I'm not going, no.
For the moment, Dan and Tone, it's time to put this pithy banter, that's not easy to say.
Not easy
Put
to
this
do.
pithy banter on hold for a moment. Now, we pride ourselves on our ear for a pretty melody. We had Charles and Eddie on, and before you could say, it's a #1, it's top of the pops, they were. Who knows? Perhaps we can work the same chart magic my next guest. Singing, If You Ask Me To, Celine Dion.
Used to be that I believed in something. Used to be that I believed in love. It's been a long time since I've had that feeling. I could love someone, I could trust someone. I said I'd never let nobody in my heart again, darling. I said I never let nobody in, but if you ask me to, I just might change my mind and let you in my life forever. If you ask me to, I just might give my heart and stay here in your arms forever. If you ask me to, if you ask me to, baby, 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 oh yeah. Somehow ever since I've been around you, can go back to being on my own. Can't help feeling, darling, since I found you, that I found my home, that I found the home. I said I'd never let nobody get too close to me, darling. I said I needed to be free. But if you ask me to, I just might change my mind and let you in my life forever. If you ask me to, I just might give my heart and stay here in your arms forever. If you ask me to.
lovely Celine Dion. Do you remember Pinky and Perky? All that money and they live like pigs. Remember Porky the Pig? That's all, folks. They said there could be no bigger swine in show business. But then the pig of them all trotted along, yes. I'm talking about the snout with clout. Miss Piggy. Before we meet her, let's see some of the great porcine moments in film history.
Pinky, the most pampered porker in Britain. He lives in absolute luxury, as you can see, but there's one very important thing missing from his life. Find out what that is. Oh, get off!
This is a race for pigs. They'll reach speeds of up to 15 miles per hour, covering the 150-foot track in about 8 seconds.
Yeah, well, what I like about it, especially in summer, is that it's quick and you save money. You don't have to put the heating on.
Brilliant. What we can do with technology today.
Yes, it's time to meet the first pork superstar. She's vivacious. She's outrageous. She dates frogs. The one, the only, Miss Piggy. Wonderful thrill to have a major superstar with us, Miss Piggy. Thank you. Thank you for gracing us with your company.
I'm not certain how to react to the films I just saw.
Oh, please, think of them as a compliment. Did you recognize anybody in there?
Yeah, I saw Bernie.
Ah.
Yeah, he was the vicious one.
I see.
We all know Bernie.
Yes.
You don't mess with him.
No. Here, let's talk about you.
Well, what a wonderful subject.
Yeah. How do you keep your skin looking so peach perfect?
Well, actually, there's a beauty treatment that Moi has.
Oh.
It's a rather secret. It has to do with mud.
And can I ask you, let me be brutally frank with you, how old are you?
Well, let me be brutally frank with you. None of your business.
Okay. Okay.
How old are you?
Yeah, but is it... All right, let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
Well, fine, let's do that. Let's just do that.
All right, yes, okay.
Fine. Let's talk about your attire.
Yeah, okay, well, let's just have a forthright question here.
Fine.
Yeah. Have you had a nose job?
Would you like a nose job? Tony?
Yes?
You want the show?
I love your collagen implants, by the way.
Oh, that's really hurtful.
So it's 3 men against a woman, is it?
May we pause a moment? May we pause a moment in what could be a very, very controversial interview, and I know you're looking forward to it. But let's just have a look at the movie in which you are currently
Oh, the
starring.
Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yes.
Oh, fine, thank you.
It only seems right that I should lift a glass to my employer. I give you Mr. Scrooge, the founder of the feast.
The founder of the feast, indeed. If I had him here, I would give him a piece of my mind to feast upon, and I bet he would choke on it. Choke.
My dear, the children, Christmas Day.
Well, I suppose that on the blessed day of Christmas, one must drink to the health of Mr. Scrooge, even though he is odious, stingy, wicked, and unfeeling, and badly dressed.
To the founder of the feast, Mr. Scrooge.
To Mr. Scrooge, he'll be very merry and happy this day, I have no doubt.
A wonderfully sensitive performance,
thought
Miss
so.
Piggy.
Thank you.
And probably you'll be nominated for an Oscar. Do you think there's a chance of...
No, that was tried before. They do not nominate pigs.
I see.
No. I know, thank you for your support, thank you. But that's not...
Now, if I may say so again, it's not your usual glamorous role, this. You've downplayed the glamour for integrity, acting integrity, would you say?
Thank you for that. Thank you. From my heart, integrity is more important than glamour.
And yet...
As you will rightly know.
And yet, some people would say that
Yes.
you only took this role to be close to Kermit the Frog.
Well, there's some truth in that. However, an actress must stretch. And I did stretch, and I was close to my frog, yes.
And yet
Are you jealous?
No. Well,
Terry?
Just a little.
I thought so. What a
Miss
tie you
Piggy,
have.
what Kermit has denied any romantic interest.
Well, he does that in public, of course. In private, we're gangbusters.
And Michael Caine, how have you got on with him?
Michael and Mo are deep, close, personal friends, and there's nothing between Michael and I. That one night was nothing.
Yeah. Is there anything you particularly wanted to ask Miss Piggy about her movie, or?
Well, first of all, I think it's great that you've taken on, you know, the challenge of doing a Dickens piece, and I wondered, maybe is there any other Dickens material that you like, that you might see you could play a part in? I mean,
Yes, probably, probably Hamlet.
Oh.
Something like that. Why, what's
Okay,
wrong?
good.
Do you feel that Miss
You'd be Ophelia then. Ophelia.
Is that a good part?
Yeah,
Fine.
that's your part.
Like Ophelia and Dickens, yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you feel that Miss Piggy is fully extended in the roles that she takes? Or do you think that there are even greater shallows that she could plumb?
I think she pushes the envelope every time she's out there.
I can't figure out these analogies. I don't know what that means.
It's a positive reference to stretching and going beyond one's capacity to fulfill. You're right, I don't know either.
But I think Miss Piggy, I think I'm right in saying it was meant as a compliment.
Yes,
wasn't it?
that's right.
Dan, I mean, Dan is not here to insult you.
No, absolutely not.
I wish you
because-
wouldn't
No,
be...
someone else is doing that nicely.
But to be frank, I think you've been a little oversensitive.
No, she's got a lot of power, and I wouldn't want to do anything that...
Thank you.
In my town, she's got a lot of power. I
Daniel
mean,
knows. Daniel
one
knows.
call, and, you know...
No, I'm not being oversensitive. I'm a single woman pig on this panel. One has to do what one can.
SWP, single woman pig.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
That's Vanessa Redgrave's party, isn't it? I'm sure she runs it. Sorry, that's a bit of a political... I was going to ask whether Kermit stretched you. As, you know, I mean, as a... I meant...
Miss Piggy. Miss Piggy, these questions are meant in...
I know what they're meant, Terrence.
They're not
I'm a pig, I'm not stupid. Anthony?
Yes.
I think you have a problem. That's all I shall say. You have a deep problem.
And does this mean that Dan will never work in this town again?
No, it's not my town. In my town, he won't work again.
You see?
Powerful woman.
It's true.
Women have to protect themselves, that's all.
You can always get my arm.
Easy, easy.
Just
Keep
offering...
it right there, fella. All right, you can do it, but just once. Easy, softly, softly. Women like softly. Gentle, gentle.
That's right.
Gentle. Oh, I'm trembling. Easy. Yes. You're just as sick as Tony is.
I couldn't resist it. I'm sorry, I got carried away. Who wouldn't want to put their finger in Miss Piggy's nose?
It's true.
Right. Who wouldn't want to put a finger in my nose? Do you realize what you're saying, Terrence?
Carried away again.
I'll say.
Could you handle working with dynamite like this?
Well, only if there was a love scene written in.
Oh, Danielle.
You know,
I think that would be something that would be quite wonderful for Mo also.
but my wife might have some objections.
Yeah, my frog too.
Yeah.
I think we could scarcely leave it on a happier note. Miss
Right?
Piggy,
Just
thank
a little bit of kiss. Just a kiss.
Madness, of course. Yes. Madness. Well, there you are.
Yeah, Tony, you're later.
Oh, bless you.
Now, thank you, Miss Piggy.
Not at all.
Now, there is a fella who can do me better than I can. Steve Coogan's the name. Last time he was on the show, he went down a treat. So we thought, let's have him back. Sadly, he's washing his hair. So instead, please welcome his best mate, Duncan Thicket.
Thanks. Thanks. My name's Duncan Thicket. This is my first time on TV, so I'm a bit nervous. Sorry, deep breaths. Sorry, right. Oh, dear. Yeah, I'm supposed to start with a catchphrase. Do you know Bruce Forsyth, right? He used to have a catchphrase, didn't he? He used to say, "Nice to see you," and the audience say, "To see you nice, Bruce." Right, that's his. Mine's quite similar to that, right? I say something and you respond, right? So I'll do my catchphrase, right? What I say is, I say, "Hiya, are you all right, or what?" Right? And you say, "Not so bad, and how's yourself?" Right? It's quite straightforward, right? So probably best if I start again. I'll start again. Come on. Hiya, are you all right, or what? You, not so bad, and how's yourself? So probably, I pretend I've not come on, right? So I've not come on, right? I've not come on. I've not come on. I've not come on. And I'm coming on now, and hiya, are you all right, or what? I'm all right, thanks for asking. That's very nice. So I think the problem with my comedy is that it's hard-hitting and topical without being funny. If I get the third one, we're up and running. I'll tell you what, I'll do some impressions. I've got some really good impressions, right? It's brilliant. That Jimmy Savile, right? I'm Jimmy Savile. I'm Jimmy Savile. I've got a big cigar, and I'm Jimmy Savile. That's Jimmy Savile. Tommy Cooper, a bit like that, and just like that. And I've got a funny hat, and I'm Tommy Cooper. That's Tommy Cooper. And Michael Caine. Yeah, Michael Caine. If you don't shut up, I'll break your bloody legs. Michael Caine. Yeah. Right, I think the last one needs a bit of work, but there you go. Anyway, all new comedians these days, they do observational comedy, and I'm quite good at that, right? So here is my observational comedy, right? Have you ever noticed, when you're walking along the street at night, you're just walking along the street, there's always someone, isn't there, on the other side of the road that says at the top of their voice, "Hey you four-eyed bastard, where'd you get that hat?" Yeah? I think so, yes. He knows what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. Because I was walking along, and eventually I got to the cinema. I was seeing that new Batman film with Michelle Pfeiffer. And I came home afterwards, and have you ever noticed, when you get home from the cinema, you take your anorak off, and the back is completely covered in gob, isn't it? Where does it come from? One or two laughs of recognition there, that's nice. Really rocking now, I can feel it. Now, I'm going to finish with a song, because what I like after these gigs is that I go home, and what I like about home is the grass, because the grass is very green. And that's a clue to the song, what I'm going to sing. Yeah, just start the music, probably. Right.
The old hometown looks the same as I step down from the train, and there to meet me is my mama and papa.
Yes, they were both there.
Down the lane I walk with my sweet Mary, hair of gold and lips like cherries. It's good to touch the green grass of home.
As I awake and look around me at these 4 grey walls that surround me, and then I realise, oh no, I was only dreaming. Because there's a guard, and there's a very, very sad old padre, that's a priest. Arm in arm, we'll walk at daybreak. Once again, I'll touch the green grass of home, because they're going to hang me, you see, for a crime. Doesn't say what it is. Probably murder.
Yes, they'll all come to see me 'neath the shade of that old oak tree as they lay me 'neath the green grass of home.
Thanks very much. You've been absolutely smashing. Thank you.
Well, that's about it. We'll be back in the new year. My thanks to Ackers and Slatters and Celine Dion and Steve, get your hair cut, Wogan, and Dan, Tickle those ivories, Menendez. And, of course, this walking excuse for a bacon sandwich.
The audience is with me!
Miss Piggy, we're all off to the works Christmas party where the wine will flow like blood and vice versa. Have a nice Christmas. Thank you for joining us. Good night.
Every week, every match in Wales is important. On a Saturday afternoon, when you're giving the results and the stories behind those results, then you're a part of all those dramas. Newbridge, Llanelli, Wrexham, Merthyr, wherever. Throughout the week, all the year round, people look forward to watching their team and then finding out how the nearest rivals did. But around Christmas, the games have an added spell. Boxing Day sport has a magic all of its own. There's definitely something special about the games played around Christmas.
Now on BBC Wales on 1, from the Grand Hall Olympia, David Vine introduces tonight's international show jumping.
Friday night, well, almost Saturday morning now, another evening here at the 21st Olympia. I don't know what you think, but I feel we've been having some of the best entertainment here for many, many years. Certainly the show jumping has been of very high quality. And tonight we have a big show jumping event. It's the last before tomorrow's World Cup. And it's a bit of a racing night because some of the big stars of the Grand Hall are coming under starters' orders.
Down through the poles, beautifully through there. Down the mountain, up the mountain. Come on, children, cheer, cheer, come on. Children, this is ought to be yours, surely, come on. Yeah, here we go, oh.
Well, they're a big moment to come, but first of all, the show jumping. It's the Everest Christmas Cake Stakes. Riders and horses from 11 nations have gone for this. It's a jump-off class, and your commentators are Mike Tucker and Stephen Hadley.
So it's the Olympic champion who gets us underway in the Christmas Cake Stakes tonight. A big course. Not so many fences in this Grand Hall, but there are plenty of big ones. And again, Linda Allen, who is the American course designer here, has set one or two interesting new features. And this gate is one. It's jumped in both directions. And as you can see, I'll see again in a moment, the wings can be jumped as well. We've seen a lot of widths on the spreads, and it's the same again